All right, y'all. We give praise, esteem, and honor to Abba and Shamaim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach this day. Pick this up in John chapter 5, verse 39. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me. You will come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Elohim in you. I come by Abba's name, you receive me not. If another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which receive honor one from another, and not the honor that comes from Elohim only? Do not think that I will accuse you, Abba. There's one that accused you, even Moses, in whom you trust. Had to believe Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how should you believe my words? All esteem and praise to Abba and Shamaim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. Leviticus chapter 4, verse 1. And Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, speaking to the sons of Yasharal, saying, if a soul shall sin through ignorance against any of the commandments of Yahuwah, which ought not to be done, and shall do against any of them, if the priest that is anointed do sin according to the sin of the people, then let them bring for his sin which he have sinned a young bullock without blemish unto Yahuwah for a sin offering. He shall bring the bullock unto the door, Shalom, Brother Morgan, of the tabernacle of the congregation before Yahuwah, and shall lay his hand upon the bullock's head and kill the bullock before Yahuwah. And the priest that is anointed shall take of the bullock's blood and bring it to the tabernacle of the congregation. And the priest shall dip his finger in the blood and sprinkle on the blood 7 times before Yahuwah, before the veil of the sanctuary. The priest shall put of the blood upon the horns of the altar of sweet incense before Yahuwah, which is in the tabernacle of the congregation, and shall pour all the blood of the bullock at the bottom of the altar of the burnt offering, which is at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. Luke 23 and 26. Go ahead, Sid. Luke 23 and 26.
And as they led him away, they laid hold upon one, Simon, a Cyrenian, coming out of the country, and on him they laid the stake, that he might bear it after Yahushua. Here followed him a great company of people and of women, which also bewailed and lamented him. Yahushua, turning unto them, said, daughters of Jerusalem, weep not for me, but weep for yourselves and for your children. For behold, the days are coming, in the which they shall say, Baruch are the barren, and the wombs that never bare, and the paps which never gave suck. Then shall they begin to say to the mountains, fall on us, and to the hills, cover us. For if they do these things in a green tree, what shall be done in the dry?
Right.
And there were also 2 other malefactors led with him to be put to death. And when they were come to a place which is called Calvary, there they crucified him and the malefactors, one on the right hand and the other on the left.
Right.
And said, Yahushua, Abba, forgive them, for they know not what they do.
He said what?
Abba, forgive them, for they know not what they do.
So we, of course, we dealing with the sin out of ignorance. Now, just to see if you recall, what was the sin out of ignorance that they committed? I'll run all them places down again for those who may not remember or may have missed it. Acts chapter 3, verse 14.
But you denied the Kadash one and the just, and desired a murderer to be granted unto you.
Right.
And killed the Prince of Life, whom Elohim have raised from the dead.
Right.
Whereof we are witnesses.
Right.
And his name, through faith in his name, have made this man strong, whom you see and know. Yea, the faith which is by him hath given him this perfect soundness in the presence of you all.
What up?
And now, brethren, I know that through ignorance you did it. As
through
did
what?
Also your rulers. Through ignorance you did it, as did also your rulers.
What up?
But those things which Elohim before has shown by the mouth of all his prophets, that a Mashiach should suffer, he hath so fulfilled.
So fulfilled.
Repent you therefore and be converted.
Converted.
That your sins will be blotted out.
Blotted.
And the times of refreshing shall come from the presence of the Lord.
Indeed.
He shall send Yahushua HaMashiach, which before was preached unto you, whom Shamahi must receive until the time of restitution of all things, which Elohim has spoken by the mouth of all his Kadash prophets since the world began.
Yeah.
For Moses truly said unto his fathers, a prophet shall the Lord Elohim raise up unto you, brethren, like unto me.
Like unto me.
Him shall you hear in all things whatsoever he shall say unto you.
Whatever he say.
And it shall come to pass that every soul which will not hear that prophet,
he gonna what?
Shall be destroyed from among the people.
Go ahead.
Yea, and all the prophets from Samuel and those that follow after, as many have spoken, have likewise foretold of these days.
They spoke of this. Stop. They spoke of this. Now, Acts chapter 7, verse 53, I believe. After that, Acts 13 and 20.
who have received the law by the disposition of Malachim and have not kept.
Ain't kept it.
When they heard these things, they were cut to the heart.
Peace, Brother Omar.
And they gnashed on him with their teeth.
Go ahead.
But he, being full of the Ruach HaKadosh, looked up steadfastly in the Shamaim and saw the esteem of Elohim.
And what he said?
Standing on the right hand of Elohim and said, behold, I see Shamaim open,
and
the Son of Man standing on the right hand of Elohim.
Mm-hmm.
Then they cried out with a loud voice and stopped their ears and ran upon him with one accord.
To do what?
And cast him out of the city and stoned him. And the witnesses laid down their clothes at a young man's feet whose name was Saul.
What up?
And they stoned Stephen, calling upon Elohim and saying, Lord, thou shalt receive my ruach.
And lay this.
And he kneeled down and cried with a loud voice, Lord, lay not this sin to their charge.
That's good. Acts 13 and 20. Now, we didn't read it, obviously, because it's a long chapter, but Stephen rolls down a laundry list of things. And I'm going to read you one thing that he ran down, that you're going to hear ran down in Acts chapter 7. And in this, Acts 13, excuse me, but in this Acts 7. Is that what I want, man? Verse 35. Then Moses, whom they refused, saying, who made you a ruler and a judge? The same did Elohim send a ruler and deliverer by the hand of the Malachim, which appeared to him in the bush. He brought them out, and after that he showed them wonders and signs in the land of Israel and in the Red Sea and in the wilderness 40 years. This is that Moses which said unto the sons of Yasharal, a prophet shall Yahuwah your Elohim raise up unto you of your brethren, like unto me shall you hear. This is he that was in the assembly in the wilderness with the Malachim, which spake to him in Mount Sinai, and our fathers, who received the lively oracles to give unto us. Listen, and that's one of them passages where a lot of people don't want to hear. When he said, this is he that was in the assembly, he was telling you that was Yahushua they were dealing with. But at that time, they knew him as Yahuwah. Now, some individuals will hear that. I just heard some dudes debating this the other night. Some people look at that. Now, of course, we don't hold that vantage point that Yahuwah is the Heavenly Father. But that's another conversation. You know what I'm saying? And the only reason why I know I'm privy to these type of conversations because dudes be arguing the quote-unquote Godhead theology, you know, day in and day out. Oneness, Trinitarianism, and all this, that, there, and the third. But that's another deal. Stephen said that for a reason, because he mentioned Deuteronomy 18 and said this is the one in the assembly. But we'll deal with that later. Now, you just read that Peter mentioned that same Deuteronomy 18, correct? Go to Acts 13 and 20.
And after that, he gave unto them judges about the space of 450 years until Samuel the prophet. Afterward, they desired a king, and Elohim gave unto them Saul, the son of Cis, a man of the tribe of Benjamin, by the space of 4 years. When he had removed him, he raised up unto them David to be their king, whom also he gave testimony and said, I found David, the son of Jesse, a man after my own heart,
that's right,
to fulfill all my will. But this man's seed have Elohim according to his promise, raised unto Yasharal a Savior, Yahushua. When John had first preached before his coming, the baptism of repentance to all the people of Yasharal. And as John fulfilled his course, he said, whom think you that I am?
Who you think that I am?
And behold, there come one after me, whose shoes of his feet I am not worthy to
loose.
Men and brethren, children of the stock of Abraham, whosoever among you fear Elohim, to you is the word of this salvation sent. But they that dwell at Jerusalem and their rulers, because they knew him not, nor yet the voices of the prophets which are read every Shabbat day, they have fulfilled them in condemning him.
And they did what?
Fulfilled them in condemning him.
Hold on, read that first part though.
Except for they that dwell in Jerusalem and their rulers, because they knew him not.
They didn't know him not.
Nor yet the voices of the prophets which are read every Shabbat.
Shabbat.
They have fulfilled them in condemning him. And they found no cause of death in him, yet desired they Pilate that he should be slain.
Listen.
And when they had fulfilled all that was written of him, they took him down from the tree and laid him in the sepulchre.
What happened though?
But Elohim raised him from the dead.
But what happened?
Elohim raised him from the dead. He would see many days of them.
That's good. 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 5.
That your faith should not stand in the wisdom of men, but in the power of Elohim. Howbeit we speak wisdom among them that are perfect.
In a what?
Yet not the wisdom of this world, nor the princes of this world that come to nothing.
But
we speak the wisdom of
Elohim in a mystery. We speak it in a what?
In a mystery.
Pause. Romans 16:25. Speak it in a mystery. Now we read this last Wednesday also in Matthew, what that was, 13. He said, I speak to them in parables. You know what I'm saying? But he said, but you know, but they don't know. because we speak this wisdom in a mystery, it's a secret. Listen, Romans 16:25.
Now to him that is the power to establish you according to my gospel and the preaching of Yahushua HaMashiach, according to the revelation of the mystery, which is kept secret since the world began.
Since the world began.
But now it was made manifest, and by the scriptures of the prophets, according to the commandments of the everlasting Elohim, made known to all nations for the obedience of faith.
Boom. Made by all nations for the obedience of faith. Listen. Hold on, no, let's listen to what he told. This was kept secret since the world began. He said, but them not knowing him, nor the voices of the prophets in the scriptures, they fulfilled them and condemned them. We're rehashing all this here because go back to 1 Corinthians 2. It said these people didn't know. So they were committing a sin out of ignorance. The sin, and we're going to delve into that further. The sin out of ignorance obviously was they did not hearken. Shalom, Brother Marcus. They did not hearken unto him who was a prophet like unto Moses. If you remember, he said, I will require it of him. That means I'm going to require his blood. Now, there's a question that's going to be asked on why will he require your blood? 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 6.
Howbeit we speak wisdom among them that are perfect.
That are perfect.
Yet not the wisdom of this world, nor the princes of this world that come to nothing.
Listen, y'all be wondering, listen, man. With this particular topic, again, it'll cause us to come back to the central focus of everything that we do, which is that Yahushua is in the volume of the book. So this kokma that we speak in, this skill in war, this ability for you to be able to take on the breastplate of righteousness and the shield of faith and the sword of the Ruach, which is the word of Elohim, and put on the helmet of salvation and all these things, this wisdom is only appropriate and applicable to those who are complete. See, if you are not complete, then this wisdom is not applicable to you. Again, he said, we speak this wisdom to those that are perfect. I say, I mentioned this here for this very reason. And it was something that I was mentioning to the other night. I mentioned this to some people the other day. But if you pay attention in the text, you see this repeatedly. There's a multitude of times where the apostles, Yahushua himself, even the prophets of old, generally focused on those who actually wanted what they were selling. See, this overindulgence of wanting to win over people who don't want what you selling is really what's the word I want to look for? Indicative, if you would, of individuals who actually don't believe the word. Shalom, Brother Robert, who don't actually believe the word. Because you don't actually believe the word, that's why you are intent on doing certain things and winning over people who don't want it, to the neglecting of the people who do. Now, some people get caught up and say, oh, I don't want to be in an echo chamber. Well, the only reason why you don't want to be in an echo chamber is because you want to be challenged in battle. That's your business. You know what I'm saying? But for those who are after salvation, it's not an echo chamber, if you would. It's a place where individuals, do this for me, man. Go to Luke 22. Read me about verse 25. I mentioned it Wednesday. I'm going to mention it again. We didn't read it off the paper Wednesday, though. Go ahead.
And he said unto them, the kings of the Gentiles exercise lordship over them. They that exercise authority upon them are called benefactors.
Benefactors.
But you shall not be so. But he that is greatest among you, let him be as the younger. He that is chief, as he that do serve. For whether is greater, he that sit at meat or he that serve? It's not he that sit at meat, but I am among you as he that serve.
Right.
You are they which have continued with me in my temptations. And I appoint unto you a kingdom, as my Abba have appointed unto me.
Right.
That you may eat and drink at my table in my kingdom, and sit on thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Yasharal.
Right.
And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Hashatan have desired to have you.
And sift you.
As wheat.
But I have
prayed for you.
And when you are
converted,
do what?
Strengthen your brothers.
Do what?
Strengthen your brothers.
Do what?
Strengthen your brothers.
Isaiah 26:3. Isaiah chapter 26, verse 3.
You will keep him in perfect shalom, whose mind is stayed on you.
Because he
trust in you.
Because
trust in Yahuwah forever.
For trust in
Yahuwah is everlasting strength.
Listen. That's what a lot of people don't want to do, is strengthen their brethren. See, people think you don't strengthen your brother with no commandments, man. Listen, you think when that Malachim came, just read it for a minute, wait. Luke 22, man. Just drop down to about 41. Go ahead.
And he was withdrawn from them about a stone's cast and kneeled down and prayed, saying, Abba, if you be willing, remove this cup from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but yours be done.
Whatever.
There appeared a Malachim unto him.
And what he did?
Strengthening him.
He did what?
Strengthening him.
You think he told him some commandments in that moment, man? You think that's what he did, man? Now ask yourself this question. If you got to strengthen your brother, how you going to do it? How you going to go about that? See, this is the thing when I'm talking about is you'll be like, because and honestly, it's from a Caucasian point of view, to keep it 100% honest with you, with the missionary type deal. You know what I'm saying? See, the missionary type deal tells you to go out and get as many converts or proselytes as possible. But the scriptural type deal is you let the word be known, and those who receive it, you help cultivate that word in them. You know what I'm saying? It's not a focus of where you so concerned with people outside the house to screw anybody inside the house. And where that gets turned upside down in this particular time period is people tell you, oh, your household is your first ministry. No, Yahuwah is your first ministry. That's your first service. That's what people get the game twisted. Your wife ain't your first service. Your children ain't your first service. Your first service is to your God. Because before you can serve anybody, you got to serve him. That's what people get the game twisted at. That is, in my opinion, that's church talk. And it's really church talk for individuals who aren't cut or built for what he told them in Matthew 19 when he said, hey, we forsaken all, what are we going to get? Now, see, it's a hard dichotomy because we were talking about this other week when we read the Exodus 18. You forsaken all don't mean that you forsake all to the destroying of yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's why he says captains over 50s, captains over 100s, things of that nature. One man can't handle all that responsibility because even the Lord himself, who was your Lord and Master, creator of the heavens and earth, your Redeemer and Savior and High Priest, still had 12 men with him. And then had another, say at least, another 58 men because he sent them out 72 by 2 to assist with that also. Because even remember, the apostles were casting out devils and things of this nature when they came to him and say, we can't cast this one out. So that means this wasn't a situation where he was going around doing it for them. They came and got it when it was too difficult for them to do. See, even the Lord himself did not see the need that I have to do everything, because that's not what the word teaches. It will destroy you. You know what I'm saying? It will destroy you. We talked about that a couple weeks ago. That's the only reason why I mentioned it, because it's in line, it's congruent with what we're looking at. You know what I'm saying? And even still, what we talked about a couple weeks ago, he said, hey, man, if they be for us, they can't be against us. Niggas sit back and look at, if you don't do like I do, or you ain't over here with me, but we both down with a masha, oh, you ain't in the word, but I am. You's a goofy. Truth be told, you's a old dick in the booty type nigga. That's what you is. You's a certified goofy. Now, I can see the apostles having that in that time period because they ain't know no better. You know what I'm saying? At that particular point. Because all they knew is they doing this and they don't walk with us. We told them to stop, which is reasonable if you put yourself in their shoes at that time with the perspective that they had in that moment. See, that's another thing that people don't be doing. See, we're having a conversation today, right? It was really talking about why black people don't do nothing when the police shoot us and kill us. I like, what y'all niggas want a nigga to do? Go out in the street killing police? That's what you expect us to do? Because they were talking about the young man who died in Mississippi. I don't know the details on that case, so I'm not going to speak on that. You know what I'm saying? Who was out there with his white friends on the boat and he came up dead. And I'm like, what you think? Black folks just supposed to go find them people and execute them? Like, what's the appropriate response? But then it came down to police officers. And I was telling them something that my daddy told me. My daddy told me, man, that they just as scared of you as you are of them. And that went into a whole nother deal. And what it went to is this here, right? Every police officer be scared. And the gentleman said, if you scared, you shouldn't take the job. I say, no. It's not that the issue that you have fear. It's how you respond to said fear. Now, somebody who get in it and they're afraid 24/7, they usually quit that job. Now, Mama Steph interjected and said this: if you get a psycho vibe as a police officer and they don't detect any fear, they're going to let you go. And I know why they're going to let you go. Because if you have no fear, that means you're a socio or psychopath. Because any type of human being, period. See, and this is what I mean by that, about people being in situations and circumstances, and you ain't been in them, so you don't try to put yourselves in the shoes of the individuals who in them. This is not talking about the justification for police killing niggas in the street. This is for the aspect of you being a human being. I'm a human being. So if I'm a human being and I'm in a situation, what you think, space? Oh, I ain't worried about that. Come on, that's crazy. And I'm like, and just like Emma said, man, how many of you niggas done had to make a life or death situation in 2 to 3 seconds? Where you had to make a decision of somebody gonna live or die in 2 to 3 seconds. See, individuals can make a lot of assessments and a lot of statements about situations and circumstances that they'll never be in to even know how they're going to respond. And even as much as you've been trained, you can still freeze. Now, we talk about that with the word. We go through the word week in and week out because that's your training of when you face situations and circumstances. But God only knows how you're going to respond when you face with said situation and circumstance. Some men will be in those situations and their training will kick in. And some people, they may have all the training in the world and they'll freeze. And why they freeze, only God knows. And I'm not here to judge or condemn or ridicule or castigate any man who frees in certain situations, because I don't know why that man froze. You got some people, once them live rounds go to coming, hey man, boom, 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 boom. And then some, he been trained all his life and he just freeze up. And sometimes because they freeze up, it's not because he a coward, it's not because he a sucker. Sometimes you just freeze up. Sometimes your mind just lock up and you just don't respond. You know what I'm saying? Now with the word, it's a little different. Because in this instance, you want the ruach to respond versus your flesh responding. See, a lot of people like, we don't need, that's the whole purpose of why you have service, man. That's the whole purpose why you have it. That's why you have a Shabbat service. That's why they had the synagogue and the scrolls were read every day. That was the purpose. It's for training. But we don't look at it for training. Because that's why I tell you, hey, man, he said, if that anointing be in you, you have no need for any man to teach you, because you should be falling back on your training. Because the word is in you. When you in the word, you've been trained, you should be falling back on your training. So that means when you face certain situations, you should know how to respond according to how you've been trained. Because it should be instantaneous. That's the hope. Even with officers, because they take them through the same. If you go be a correctional officer, you got to go through the same training that a police officer go through. See, correctional officers don't get a different set of training. They're going to go through the same police academy that a sworn officer got to go through. You know what I'm saying? Same firearm training, even though he's not going to take none of this training over to this prison. He actually going to get 2 sets of training. You're going to get trained like you finna go out here on the street and police, and then you're going to get trained like you finna go ahead and work in this correctional facility. The average person don't know that they get trained twice, because they usually use the correctional, especially for county jail. You know what I'm saying? They use them as feeders for new police officers. You know what I'm saying? Especially the county jail. Prison, not so much. But county jail, them feeders for new police officers. That's why they get double trained. You know what I'm saying? So you never know. Even in the military, them dudes, you trained for war, but you don't know how you're going to respond till you actually been in war. See, we can go through this book, man, and you don't actually know how you're going to respond till your flesh get tested. That's why I say, blessed is he that endure temptation, for when he is tried. You don't know how you're going to respond to that testing until you test it. That's why I say, pray not that you enter into temptation, because some of y'all don't want to get tested because you're going to fail. Because you're going to fail. We done talked about that before. You know what I'm saying? That's part of the reason why you say, amen, if a brother be overtaken in a fault, restore him in humility. Don't be walking around here high-minded because somebody that got a certain situation or circumstance going on, boy, because you could get caught down bad, boy. You could get caught down bad, and you could get tested, and you could see, boy, you wasn't ready. You wasn't ready. We don't never consider none of that. And I'm only mentioning that that's why you got to strengthen your brethren. That's why you just can't be like, oh, he got the word, he in it, and then you forsake him so you worry about bringing people in. But that's all people concerned with, it, bringing people in. More people in, more people in, more people in, more people in. Man, it ain't about all that, man. And like you say, man, we will hope to Elohim that everybody would be saved. The reality of the situation is that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. You dig? That's not going to happen. You know what I'm talking about? So knowing that that's not going to happen, and even the righteous can scarcely be saved, we have to shift the thought process of what we got going on. That's why the aspect of you look at one body and why we even been discussing that, because brothers need to strengthen one another, man. It's a brother could be in another city or state stronger than you, and he can help you be stronger. That don't mean there's something lacking in your brothers over here, but there's somebody that's always going to be stronger than somebody else in something. And to be able to tap into that strength, people have to be tapped in and see one another as interconnected through Hamashiach. And we don't be seeing that. You feel me? It's just all smoke and mirrors, man. It's all a dog and pony show, if you would. And it got to be better than that, man. Just to be 100% honest with you. Niggas can throw scriptures at each other all day long. Niggas cutting up doctrines all day long. Niggas winning debates all day long and don't even know how to encourage a man. Without sitting around thinking, I got to send you a multitude of verses. Your words ain't even a wellspring of life when you talk, my nigga. You know what the people get mad at? I don't like he say nigga. I don't like he say that. You don't like all these things, but if a brother was down bad, would you have the word? He say, man, you know, he's giving me the tongue of the learned that I might speak a word in due season to him that is weird. Huh? See, a lot of individuals don't even know that. They don't even know what that's at. Read it for him, see? You know what that's at? Yeah, man. Isaiah 50 and 4. It's all right. I got it.
So Yahuwah Elohim have given me the tongue of the learned, that I should know how to speak a word in season to him that is weary.
Speak a word in what?
In season.
Tell him what season mean right there, man. And then give him weary. Boy, they're going through. That's all they do all day. Whine, fight, complain. All three of them. All three of them.
Word in season is one word, so that's just the bar.
He said, I know how to, I got a speech for you. I got a word for him that is weary. What's weary?
That is, y'all faint, weary, fatigued.
You seen you think that Malachi may had a word in season for Yahushua when he was weary? Read in Matthew 11 and 25. You got a word for him that, and you know what? This is a real deal part of the whole play, right? You did. Individuals will be in the word and feel like a nigga ain't supposed to get weary or fatigued. See, I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. Y'all have, and I'm gonna say y'all, I'm not talking about any of y'all specifically. But when I say y'all, I'm talking about the people in general. People have extremely unrealistic and ridiculous expectations for human beings in the world. So this person can't get weary, they can't get fatigued, they can't get depressed, they can't get sad, they can't get frustrated, they can't get none of that. Nigga, but you do it though, and you want compassionate. Like, you understand how flawed that is, man. Now, the reason why I mentioned that is because we done went over this before, because we seen Yahushua sad unto death, which really, and it defined that he was literally suicidal. When he said, I am exceedingly sorrowful, even unto death. So if your maker, your Lord and master, can say that he was sorrowful to the point that he wanted to die, that he was depressed unto death, you got to have leeway for somebody else. I don't care if they preach, don't preach. I don't care if they've been in the word 27 years. I don't care if they've been in it for 7 minutes. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. You know what I'm talking about? You literally had a Malakim come strengthen him because he was fatigued. He was weary. Isaiah 40 talked about that. He'll renew your strength. He'll renew your strength through his ruach and through his word. But if you a brother, how you can't strengthen? Why do you think he telling Peter to strengthen his brethren if that's unnecessary? You know what I'm saying? He's not telling him to do that because it sounds cool. We talked about this in the past. I don't want to divert entirely too far off the beaten path, if you would. But people, especially for preachers, secondarily for men, thirdly for people who in the word in general, you have allowed yourself to divorce these individuals from their humanity. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was referring to when I was talking to them. Because people get a fine line. I can look at things holistically. I can know that it is maggot, dog face, crackers who are police officers that killed niggas just because. And then I also know that there's some of them who are generally scared because he's a human being. And not scared because you black, but man, I don't know what's on your mind. Just like I don't know what's on this police officer mind. I don't know what type of time you on. What Piggy said, man, hey man, don't kill me, brother. I got a mistress, I got a wife on the side, I got some kids. That's all people be thinking about for the most part. Man, I'm trying to get home to my churn, man. I'm trying to get home to maturing, man. I don't want no problems, man. That's what, listen, right? And we did the research on this right there because the sister mentioned like, well, why black officers don't kill white people like this? Because number one, white officers make up the extreme amount of officer-involved shootings because there's the extreme amount of police officers. 79% of shootings are by white officers, and white officers make up about 75% of all police. So that's what's going to happen. But in my anecdotal experience for what I've seen, black officers are more inclined at conflict resolution than white officers are. You know what I'm saying? Now that can be for a multitude of reasons of which I won't delve into at this present time. But I'm just telling you from my isolated experience, from what I observed, black officers are more inclined, irregardless of who's in front of them, white or black, to seek to de-escalate. You know what I'm saying? I noticed that white officers tend to escalate, and their de-escalation skills are piss poor. And that's probably because most of them don't want to de-escalate, especially here in Jacksonville, because that's really what I'm referring to. Police officers in Jacksonville don't like to de-escalate. And they equal opportunity here. They don't care if you're white or black. You know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of them just be on, you got to do what I say. And if you don't do what I say, then I take that as an offense. And I'm going to exert this power that I perceive and believe that I have to dominate you in the fashion that I want to. You know what I'm saying? Especially white officers in Jacksonville. Most black officers don't be on that type of time. You know what I'm saying? Most of them like, nah, I ain't on that. As long as you don't come with no crazy junk, man. Now I will say this here: if they see their fellow white officers escalate, they tend to not tell him to chill out. You know what I'm saying? They will tend to back him up instead of saying, "Nah, bro, you tripping, bro. We not on that. Leave that man alone." You know what I'm saying? Because that's really what a lot of stuff is. It's the ability to de-escalate. A lot of people don't have the ability to de-escalate. A lot of people don't have the ability to de-escalate, in my personal opinion, because you've been around women too much. You know what I'm saying? When you spend an inordinate amount of time around women, women do not have de-escalation skills that are great if they ain't been taught it or they ain't been around it. They will inflame. You know what I'm saying? And the only reason being is because of emotional responses. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Women tend to respond emotionally, so that makes de-escalation more difficult for them because they're going to be seeing through the lenses of how they feel right now versus seeing this is about to get on 10. Let me get this back down to a 3. So when you take a man who has testosterone and aggression and any other things he got going on, once he get to 10, he ain't going to have the ability. Now we need to get this down to 3. Because I don't want it to get to 10. Because if it get to 10, I know what I'm going to do. And I'm going to hurt you. You know what I'm saying? And that's the other part. A man who knows what he gonna do and knows what he's capable of and know he will do it will always seek to de-escalate. And that also is another factor. Now that I almost left that out. A lot of dudes who really ain't on that type of time like to escalate because they're overcompensating because they want to show and prove that I'm so tough. But an individual who know, oh yeah, boy, I'm gonna go there. And I know what I'm gonna do. He tried to keep it cool and respectful at all times because he don't want to go there. Because he know once that's unleashed, it's over with. You know what I'm saying? Now, see, I'm only mentioning these things because he told you to be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. You have to have that type of skill to go out here and move around in the world, man. Because there's some people out here, boy, they willing to go to a place that you wouldn't even imagine going. And it'll make you realize real quick, boy, you ain't that tough. You ain't that much of a killer. You ain't that big of a gangster. You ain't none of that. You know what I'm talking about? Because that man willing to go somewhere. And you wasn't willing to go there. You was willing to go up the street. He willing to go across the country. You know what I'm saying? And you got to know yourself with that. Because there's too many dudes think, especially dudes in the word, they think they too tough. Boy, you ain't like that, boy. Don't nobody from around your way know you for being like that. How you get in the word and want to be tough? That's crazy. So I mentioned that so when dudes really be going through it, that's why people be looking at them like that. I can tell you from what I've heard from women in the word, not necessarily none of y'all, but other women, like women, nobody got no mercy or compassion for nobody. About nothing, unless it's they friends. Yeah, that's your home girl, that's your homeboy. You got all the grace and compassion in the world. Anybody else? Oh, this nigga, man, you flawed. You a goofy. You know what I'm saying? You's a goofy. I said it and I meant it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not the love of Elohim in no shape, form, or fashion. And we would have to do better than that. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what that is, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm only mentioning these things because these things don't get discussed. It's not necessarily for none of y'all per se, but for somebody who might be like, let me cop this stuff they selling over here, man. Because we have to shift the narrative on the things that we discuss. When I say we, I'm talking about us as a collective, not this in particular assembly, because you already know we discuss these things. I'm talking about in general. Because how we ever going to become who we need to become? How anybody ever going to hearken to him who is like unto Moses? We don't even have a mind and a heart set up to receive it. You know what I'm talking about? So come on, man. I'm sorry about that. I ain't going to hold y'all too long, man, because we got a baptism to do tomorrow, man. I got to figure out how I'm going to get another phone. That damn phone, man, that junk just fell out my pocket. That junk hit the floor, and that nigga said, I'm going to holler at you, cuz. Screen black.
Case.
We give a damn about no case. You know what I'm saying? You know I ain't had no case. I ain't had no goddamn money for no case. So bump all that. You know what I'm saying? Then, hey, man, that time you talking about going in there, you talking about dropping $500-$600 for all that. No. It don't make no difference, man. You know what I'm talking about? Shoot, I done had that phone for 4 years. I just ain't want to add the extra $24 on my phone bill. That whole paid for. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, that whole paid for you. That's all that is. That whole paid for. You know what I'm saying? I told you, I hold on, I'm not getting another one till that nigga quit. That whole paid for. You hear me? I ain't with that time, man. I don't need no new one. You know what I'm saying? Meaning I ain't got to be like, oh, it's the 18 out. I don't care nothing about none of that. I had one thing when it was the 6. That's a long time ago. You hear me? My jump right as soon as I paid that whole off, that whole just stopped working. I'm talking about ain't nothing dropped, none of that. That nigga just cut off one day, never cut back on. That's when we found out Apple be doing stuff to make you buy another one. Because you know what that phone do? Act like you don't want to charge. You know what I'm saying? How you don't want to charge all of a sudden? Yeah, so that's that bull crap. Come on, man.
Matthew 11:25.
Yes, sir.
Said at that time, Yahweh answered and said, I thank you, O Abba, Lord of Shamayim and earth, because you have hid these things from the wise and prudent and have revealed them unto babes. Even so, Abba, for so it seemed good in your sight.
Right.
All things are delivered unto me of my Abba, and know no man know the Son but the Abba, neither know any man of Abba save the Son.
Right.
And he to whomsoever the Son will reveal.
Right.
Come unto me, all you that labor.
All you that labor.
and are heavy laden,
and I will
give you rest.
Come unto him here, and he'll like this here. You say you ended up buying a 16 plus after your 13, started freezing and overheating and running slow. I feel like collectively our people know how powerful we can be as one, and that's the real fear. And you know what, Brother Ernest? I can go for that. And too, my phone been doing that too, Mika, with that overheating, man, slowing down. But they have been, they got sued for that. That they said they were specifically slowing phones down to make you upgrade. So that means effectively you could have had an original iPhone and that host would still be able to run. They come out with all them updates to slow your phone down and make you buy a new one. I could think they slick. But I'm with you on that, Ernie, though. I think some people do fear that power that could come from everybody being one of the Mashiach. But I also think that like I said before, the people who are teaching the people and leading the people in general don't want that to happen. Now, my theories on why they don't want that to happen, the biggest one is, in my opinion, and from what I've been able to ascertain from the outside looking in, because I'm not going to tell you that I'm on the inside of all these organizations that say this is a definitive statement. It's almost in line with what we read in John 11. I think more of them are concerned with their place and their power. And they feel like if everybody's one, that they're going to lose that. Whatever that may look like for each individual. That's just my assessment for what I can see from the outside looking in. I think that's the biggest issue. You know what I'm saying? That men, and of course you've heard me say this numerous times, that men see the members of the body of believers that they may be overseers as theirs. And that anything outside of that is an existential threat. So if you are not going to get down with what I'm talking about and be up under my brand and my authority, I don't really want to fool with you. Or the other one being, if you don't have the status that I feel like can increase my brand, or I don't want to fool with you. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to fool with you. Because I think in general, he said they're afraid they're going to be like us regular people. To an extent, I don't even think the leader's scared about being with regular people. I think they just see certain stuff as a threat to their power and influence. Because some men are hell-bent on having power and influence. You know what I'm saying? There's one thing of wanting to have influence if it's to influence people in a positive fashion. You know what I'm saying? But that you know what I'm saying? Like you got people tell people, hey, don't fool with this congregation or don't listen. That's because you want to be the sole influence. You know what I'm saying? And there's many reasons for that. Say which is wild because Christ himself said to his disciples in generations great. Indeed it is. Like I said, and this is just me from the outside looking in. This is just my assessment because, again, I'm not inside of all these congregations to know for sure. But you can see how people move to make certain determinations based on how they moving. Aside from the fact that a lot of brothers do see this as a competition. They don't see this as a collaborative effort. And I can only collaborate if you 100% agree with me. I can only collaborate if you don't challenge me. When I say challenge you, not necessarily doctrinally. You know what I'm saying? So, it'd be a lot of stuff, man. He say, but just like John 11. Yeah, that's my personal opinion. And that's just not on the Hebrew side of things. That's on the Christian side of things also. I think a lot of individuals are concerned with their spot. It's like professional wrestling. You get to the top of the card, that's a cutthroat business. So you want to keep your spot at the top. I want to be in the main event scene because I can make more money here. It's beneficial for me here. So I think a lot of brothers don't want to, because like I said, see it as a threat. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never seen another preacher in my life that I saw as a threat. You know what I'm saying? And it's only because we work in the same company. You're not gonna get no more of a promotion than I'm gonna get. You're not gonna get paid no more money than I'm gonna get paid. You're not gonna get no more accolades than I'm gonna get. And maybe because I took that parable of the penny to heart, like, hey man, I'm giving everybody the same thing. So how is it a competition? If we all in this man body laboring to preach him to the esteem of the man who sent him, then how am I competing with you? I can't see you for nothing other than like what Paul called Barnabas, that's a co-laborer. That's the only thing that I can see you as. I don't see you as this, that, there, and the third. Because I mean, I had a real life situation of that. Like, bro, I don't. How you think I should see you? I don't see you like that, cuz. And it's not because I think I'm this, that, there, and the third. Because a lot of these men want you to put them on a pedestal. Just to keep 100, to keep it a beam. So a lot of people be on that. You know, it is what it is. Say the flesh and the sin is really the threat, but then again, not indeed. And again, this is just my assessments, man. They're not 100% fact. Could there be a lot of truth to it? Probably. You know, God knows. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it is what it is. But the reality is, we're supposed to be hearkening unto him who's a prophet like unto Moses. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Say, for some reason, it seems like a lot of people teaching believe they have all total truth, not understanding the simple point of each other. Okay, good you said that. We were having this conversation the other day in a different fashion. Read in 1 Corinthians 13 and 7. Yeah, some people do feel like they have total truth, man. You know, I done told you, man, I know what it is that I do. And that's what I do. You know what I'm saying? What other people do, I don't know nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to be the, you know what I'm saying? I know when it comes to the testimony and gospel of Yahushua, that's what I do. Can't speak for nobody else. You know what I'm saying? See the difference? You know what I'm saying? See, as a man, and this is just how I see it. Of course, this is crafted by some of the individuals who taught me and raised me. You know what I'm saying? You got to know who you are. You got to know what you do. And you know, once you know who you are, you know what you do, you max that out. You know what I'm saying? You don't try to be who everybody wants you to be. You don't try to be who everybody think you should be. You don't want to be what the world say you should be or anything of the sort. Know who you are. Know your strengths. Know your weaknesses. You know what I'm saying? Stay away from your weaknesses. Focus on your strengths. Max them out. See, some people feel like I should make my weaknesses strength. Yeah, that's cool. But in the midst of you focusing on what you're not good at, you neglecting what you're good at when you could just be maxing out what you're good at. And the things that you're not good at, you know what you could do? Just find people who good at that and build with them and let them take care of that. Now, I told you, the white dude taught me that a long time ago, 7th grade, 12 years old, 1992. But he was talking about it in the business aspect. Hire people smarter than you. Employ people smarter than you. Don't look at somebody who's smarter than you as a threat to you about a vision that you have. Allow them to come in and contribute with the skills that they have so everybody wins. See, people see other people coming in as a threat to them if they're smarter than you because you're really not secure in yourself. You don't know who you are. So you see that as a threat to you. If there's a brother that come around here, man, he's strong in the aspect of the word, I'm going to be like, oh, you can't preach around here. That ain't no threat to me. I'm going to preach this part. You teach that part. Everybody win. That's a win-win, nigga. That's not a lose-lose. How anybody losing? You know why you worried about it? Because Saul bringing men by the thousands and David bringing men by the 10,000. Dick in the booty, nigga, is what you is. You know what I'm talking about? See, that's the difference. You know who you are, and they're welcome to be who others think. Yeah, I know who I am. You know what I'm saying? I know who I am as a man. I know who I am in the Lord, and I know what I can do, and I do that. I don't spend my time worrying about what other men do in the Lord that I'm not closely associated with, because that's not my business. Now, if I run across those men, and if it's any value that I can add to assist them in their way, I'm gonna do that. Have done it, will always do it as long as I have breath. So that's what I mean by that. I'm not sitting back watching. See, that brother don't need it. That's sucker stuff. If you're going to watch the man and not help him, what's the point of watching him? What's the point? You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Yeah, man, but you got to know who you are, man. You know what I'm saying? Max that out. You know what I'm saying? See, some people want to be a jack of all trades and master none. I understand what this text say, man. What it say? Is everybody an apostle? Does everybody do miracles? Is everybody, you know what I'm saying, speaking tongues. So you see that, you understand that, amen. If wisdom is what he gave me, I'm gonna max that out. I'm not gonna be like, well, I need to speak in tongues too, because no, man, he gave you governments, max that out. He gave you service, max that out. Max it out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, you can't be everything to everybody, man. Just what he give you, max it out. Add as much value as you can add with remember he said he give to every man severally the ability for the edification of the body as a whole. So once you see who he wants you to be in him and the ability he give you, max it out. Max it out. You know what I'm saying? And focus on that. Don't try to be 17 different things, man. What we always talk about, man, what Bill Belichick say, man, just do your job. Don't try to do my job. Don't try to do his job. Don't try to do his job. Just do your job. Because in doing your job, you can edify just as many people as him doing his. That's the beauty of the play, man. Let you who would be his team. Come on with it, bud.
1 Corinthians 13:7.
Come on.
Say, bear all things, believe all things, hope all things, endure all things.
That's right.
Love never fails.
Never.
For the prophecies, they shall fail.
They gonna fail.
Tongues, they shall cease.
They gonna stop.
Knowledge, it shall vanish away.
It go away.
For we know in part and we prophesy.
You say we know in part and we what?
Prophesy in part.
And what else?
But when that which is perfect is come, then that which is in part shall be done away.
Stop. Tell them what part mean in the Greek right there. That's all it is, man. You know, let you who would be prayed, man. This is a beautiful thing when you have understanding of what he want, how he want it, man. This thing become very, very simple. Go ahead.
That is morose, that is a part due or assigned to one, a lot, a destiny, one of the constituent parts of a whole, in part, partly, in a measure, to some degree.
We got a word to some degree. You got a lot. You got a portion. You know what I'm saying? That's all it means. We say we prophesy in part. That man got a portion. This man got a portion. But when that which is perfect arrives, that's done away. What did that mean? What does that mean? Amen, man. What did that mean? That mean, man, when Yahushua step on the scene, the thing made whole. What do we till we come into the unity of the faith? It's not that difficult, man. Like I said, man, I got my part. Another brother might got his part. You know what I'm saying? All of it is to serve the constituents that man has been given to serve. That's what people get the game twisted at. That's why I've always told you, man, if I pull up, man, and we at somebody else's congregation or assembly, I don't feel the need to jump up and say, I need to preach this, that, there, and the third, because that's his constituency. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? If he asks you to do X, Y, Z while you there, you're supposed to be peeping the scene about his constituency. So how you add value to them, now you might be able to bring in your part, because the part that he given might be different than what you serve into your constituency. It don't mean that everybody's on a different type of time. That means how you serve one group of people is not how you serve another. You know what I'm saying? And we don't be understanding that because Yoshi thought he caught me with something earlier. But we were talking about something different. He was like, oh, so you're not an optimist? I said, no, I'm a pragmatist. He said, almost. Yeah, I'm a realist. I'm not an ideologue. I'm not a pessimist. You know what I'm saying? I'm a pragmatist. I deal with the reality of what is in front of me. And that's it. That's the only thing that I can deal with. It doesn't matter what I feel like things should be, or what I think they should be, or what I would hope for them to be. That's not the reality of life. That's why I thank the Lord, man. My people didn't tell me, you know what I'm saying? They told me the reality of what was outside. They didn't tell me about a world that did not exist. They told me about the cold reality of the world that was on the other side of that door. That's why I always make it my means to make sure to impart to you the reality of what I can see outside. Because you got to tell your children the truth, man. One thing about it, like when we say you can't protect your children from the world, we can read the same thing in the word. He said, because if we had to do that, you'd have to leave, you'd have to die. You have to be around this stuff. So I can't protect you from it. The only thing I can do is prepare you for it. And you have to hearken to my words. What do you say, my son? Hearken unto my words. Forsake not the Torah, your mama. He say, hey, listen, I've told you before. You can see that all through the book. The only thing you can do is give them the game. It's up to them what they do with the game that is given. You can't shield them. You can't protect them. I've always told you, man, you need to tell them the unadulterated truth, and you need to tell them as young as possible. I just heard a dude discuss today. He say from 0 to 7 is pretty much the time period where the outcome that a child is going to have in their life is going to be cemented. You know what I'm saying? And I done told you that before, because once they hit by 6, 7, man, it's pretty much a wrap after that. Pretty much a wrap after that. They pretty much are going to be who they are. You know what I'm saying? Say, then again, sometimes we don't know what's in our children inwardly, just like you can't save them. That's a fact. And I only mention this because I didn't finish listening to it right. Some of y'all don't know who Yummy Sandifer is because he died before many of you were born. Yummy Sandifer was an 11-year-old boy from Chicago. Was a black disciple, gangster disciple, 1 or 2. I can't recall right now. It's slipping my mind. 1 or 2. Man had a doggone file, man, when they came to people's house at 2 years old. Boy, the boy had welt marks from extension cords on his chest, had 3, man. Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah, you know, Pop mentioned him a lot, and he mentioned him on Me Against the World. You know what I'm saying? He died in 1994, man. This gang killed him. They had him go pull a murder, killed the little girl, man, and they killed the boy before he was getting ready to turn himself in for the homicide that he committed. 2 years old, man, the little boy got cigarette burns on all over his body, man. You know what I'm saying? But I'm mentioning that in the aspect of Jit ain't stand a chance based off the situations and circumstances that surrounded him at that particular age, which is why he died at 11 years old, which is why he was a murderer at 11 years old. Because grown men put a gun in the hands of an 11-year-old to go perform a homicide, which is wild in itself. You know what I'm saying? But see, I mentioned that cut, man. Listen, man, the aspect of what a child can be is going to be but based off what you teach them and what they're exposed to. You know what I'm saying? And one of the things that we don't like to do is black people don't like to tell their children the truth. And when I say tell them the truth, I ain't talking about just saying stuff. I'm talking about imparting truth with understanding. So they can understand the world that is in front of them. Understanding is the key component, which is why the word tell you the principal thing, get wisdom. But in all you're getting, get understanding. The skill means nothing if you don't have the insight. Instruction without understanding is just empty words. You're just bloviating. You understand? You have to be able to give understanding. You just can't say, don't do this, don't do that. Son, this is going to happen. They got to have the understanding. So that's why if they face the situation, they can revert to that training because they understand the situation that's in front of them. Just simply saying, don't do something, what is that going to do? But stoke curiosity. That's all it's going to do. And all of us should know that because you've been living long enough and faced long enough to be in these situations to know. You know what I'm saying? Like when people be saying certain stuff, I be like, nigga, I used to be a child. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing a child can say or do. I used to be one. So you used to be one. So, you know, because we like to romanticize how your people raised you, but in reality, they really didn't do you no good at all. You just romanticize it because you want to see it as a positive. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of way that niggas raise their children, ain't nothing positive about that junk, man. Ain't nothing positive about it. The children don't be realizing it ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, they be in here looking ugly all the time. Because they don't be wanting to hear what's being said. You know what I'm saying? Because their feelings be hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, Joanne be faking and flogging. You know what I'm saying? You know, you ain't really nothing wrong with you. So I ain't going for it. You know what I'm saying? And you know why I tell why I ain't going for it? Because you're not finna grow up and think because you get upset, you can yell, scream, or cut on crocodile tears, and somebody gonna be moved by that. because the first man you had a day-to-day experience with, he ain't go for it. You know what I'm saying? Your mother learn how to learn. Sometimes you can't be overzealous. Sometimes you just sit back and chill. Especially when you got little kids. See, she don't know because they don't be outside. I just had to tell them today. I took them and my nieces somewhere. Man, they leaving Abby behind. See, y'all, I can tell you, y'all ain't used to being outside with your crew. You don't leave your people behind. You walked off talking, worrying about this, that, and the third. You look back, oh, where Abby at? Because you ain't even got your head on the swivel. You ain't even got a thought if we came here together, we leaving here together. I'm not walking 20 paces behind you, leaving you. But you get that experience, and I be having to remember that we used to being outside in groups and they not. So that don't come into their brain to do that. So when I say that to them and rehash that to them, it seems harsh to them. You know what I'm saying? It seems harsh to them because you're not used to doing this. Your brain don't come into that, but it's got to be sound. It has to sound harsh because they need to hear it. And they need to understand why. Because you focused on what you're doing, you're leaving your sister behind. You know what I'm saying? I know that Joanne probably works her last nerve. But she don't be knowing the stuff that most of us, if you got younger siblings, you know how to do. They really look up to you. They really want to participate in whatever it is that you're doing. You have to find a way to have them feel included because they really just want to do what you're doing. Because they really look at you like that. But you don't be realizing that. Some of us click in your brain like, okay, my little brother look up to me. Some of us, some children, they don't click in their brain like they're really not being annoying. They really just look up to you. And they want to be around you. And they want to do what you're doing because they want to be like you. You know what I'm saying? So when we look at that and you take that as forth as the word, you're supposed to be looking at Yahushua because you want to be like him. Now imagine if Yahushua did to us like how some of us may do your younger siblings. Because these people follow this man everywhere. Everywhere. I'm talking about the ones who fooled with him. They wanted to go everywhere he was going. They wanted to be involved in whatever he was involved with. Simply because I want to be like him. I want to be like him. And that's why when you, same way as a young child, when you come into the word, effectively you a young child, it's very imperative on the people who are fostering the mentality that you have when you first come in the word because it's going to shape you. You know what I'm saying? It's going to shape you. And we don't be taking that into account either. You say you're going through the same. I don't know. I think everybody, especially I know Stanley been talking to them children like that. They all going through it. I think they all going through it because, and maybe because I was different until this before. You know what I'm saying? I was 10 years old when Muffin was born. So the aspect of recognizing, and maybe my mind worked differently, also recognizing, okay, this child looks up to me. So it was never an irritation or agitation because I'm so much older than her anyway. You know what I'm saying? That, oh, my little sister want to play the video game. My little sister wants to do this. Then on top of that, Muffin had to go with me wherever I went. You know what I'm saying? Because I had to watch it till Mom Dukes came home, so it wasn't no big deal. I didn't care. That's my sister. What are you talking about? And everybody in Spring Park, everybody in Zone 3 know, oh, that's Boss' little sister, man. So to them, that's their little sister. You know what I'm saying? So that's how they looked at her. So it was never no, man, why she gotta come along? Why she gotta do that? What you mean, nigga? That's my sister. It's like there's never been a time period I can think like, oh, she's getting on my nerves. Why is she doing this? What you mean? What you mean? Now I know it's different for those of us that have children and the siblings are close in age because they gonna fight. You know what I'm talking about? That just come along with the territory. They gonna fight. You know what I'm saying? That just is what it is. You know what I'm talking about? Say agreed, working with children 11. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But I be understanding. But then when you say it to them, it seems harsh because in their mind, she getting on my nerves and you not doing nothing about it. Or no, it's not. No, you just don't understand. It's not that deep. You'll understand it later. You know what I'm saying? But in the moment, you're not. It's not gonna. I don't care about that. Yeah, because I think Stanley did an exercise them cheering like this. I'm not going to say I love her. What's wrong with you? I know what's wrong with you. They get on your nerves. You know what I'm talking about? But the reality is they just be wanting to be around you. They really just be wanting your attention. And they just be wanting to be around you. You know what I'm saying? And Sometimes we have to express that to the older children. That's all that is. They just look up to you. Sometimes some of them get enjoyment on annoying you. Because I know Joanne. Go ahead.
We go 1 Corinthians 13 or keep going?
No, you're good. Yeah, because Joanne is a rabble rouser. I don't know why she like that, man, because I was not like that. I don't know where she get that from. Deidre, she must get that from your side of the family. You got rabble rousers on your side of the family? You hear me talking to you? Yeah, you got rabble. No, I said she must get that from your side of the family because I wasn't no rabble rouser.
What do you mean rabble rouser?
Joanna's a rabble rouser.
Meaning, like, she like to mess with people?
Yes.
Yeah, probably. My brother used to be like that.
Yeah, I know it. She didn't get that from over here.
He used to do exactly what she do to them. Go in your room and just touch them, just to make you upset.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, she was a rabble. Because I ain't never do Naisha like that. Like, I know what I'm going to do. Yeah, Joanne go in there and rabble rouse. And she be doing what she be doing. I be trying to tell Muffin don't fall for it. She fall for it every time. And you know why I tell Muffin not to fall for it? Because this people going to be your age. Once if they see they can do you like that, they're going to exploit you. If you let the 4-year-old do it to you, what you think another 11-year-old going to be able to do to you? Or a 20-year-old when you're 20. Or a 30-year-old when you're 30. You know what I'm saying? Can't let people get you off your square like that, man. You know what I'm saying? What they used to say, man, never let them see you sweat. You might want to strangle this nigga halfway to death. Don't let him know it. Come on, Sam. We good with 1 Corinthians, man. Where we need to be at. She don't be listening to me. She think I be being mean. I be trying to help you out. Every time she do what I tell her, you know what ends up happening? It work. I tell her, just ignore. I bet she stopped. When she ignored, guess what happened? She stopped. I say, but you got to respond. You should see them when they be in the back fighting over the AC, man. I be wishing I had a self-eject button. Hit a button, both of y'all just jump, boom, right out the back. The hell out of this goddamn car. Go ahead,
man. Acts 3, 7, 13, 1 Corinthians.
We need to finish 1 Corinthians 2, read verse 7. I got off the beaten path a little bit, but it's all great.
But we speak the wisdom of Elohim in a mystery.
In a mystery.
The hidden, which Elohim ordained before the world unto our esteem.
That's right.
Which none of the princes of this world knew.
If they would have known it,
they would not have crucified the Lord of esteem.
See, this is the thing. And again, we'll get to Deuteronomy 18 in a minute. Read me 1 Timothy 1 and 12 one more time, man. That testimony of Yahushua is that mystery. That's why they killed the man, because it wasn't revealed to them. They didn't know it. If they would have known it, they wouldn't have done it. They wouldn't have done it. Come on, man.
Saying, I think Hamashiach Yahushua our Lord, who
Why?
enabled me, for that he counted me faithful, putting me into the ministry.
In the ministry.
Who was before a blasphemer and a persecutor and injurious, but I obtained mercy because I did it ignorantly and unbelief.
Ignorantly and what?
And unbelief.
Now, we talk about that Hebrew word, is inadvertent. Because it's the same thing you see in Numbers 35 with the city of refuge. If you kill a man unawares, it's inadvertent, it's ignorance. Remember, we're dealing with, and I told y'all to remember verses 3 and verses 7 in Leviticus 4 of if a man sinned through ignorance. Of course, we've talked about this passage in the past with this. It's just been a long time since we rehashed it. Go to Deuteronomy 18 and 15 if you would, sir. Abba, forgive them, for they know not what they do. That statement is based off the fact that if they would have knew the scriptures, they wouldn't have killed him. Remember, he said, Kadash Abba, the world have not known you, but I have known you. Because if they would have known the word, they wouldn't have done that. That's why Peter said, I hope you did it through ignorance, you and your rulers. I hope you didn't know what you were doing. Do you understand how serious that is if you willfully and wantonly and knowingly, according to the text, knew that the text testified that you would turn on this man and kill him and you did it anyway? Or matter of fact, let me not even say that. If you knew that this man was the son of God according to the word and you killed him anyway, you understand how serious that is? That's why I say, I hope you didn't know. I hope you did it inadvertently. I hope you did it out of ignorance, man. I hope that's what you did, because if you didn't, nigga Tommy Hilfiger, boy, you going to hell. You know what I'm saying? I mean, remember he said, man, if you say you were blind, you would have no sin. But since you say you see, your sin remain. Boy, you knew what you were doing, boy. You knew what you were doing. My God, today. Deuteronomy 18 and 15, man.
Yahuwah your Elohim will raise up unto you a prophet from the midst of you, of your brethren, like unto me. Unto him shall you hearken, according to all that you desire of Yahuwah your Elohim in Horeb in the day of the assembly, saying, let me not hear again the voice of Yahuwah my Elohim, neither let me see this great fire any more, that I die not.
Anymore.
And Yahuwah said unto me, they have well spoken. They have spoken. I will raise him up a prophet from among their brethren, like unto you, and will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him. It shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him. But the prophet...
Stop. Required of him. So my question, I have two questions for you that we'll get to. One, scripturally, how do you ascertain that Yahushua is the prophet like unto Moses? Two, why, if you don't hearken unto him, will he require your blood? Let's deal with the latter versus the former. Why does read the definition of required for them, just in case?
That is darash, to resort to seek with care, to inquire, to require.
I'll go on down some more.
Mm-hmm. To resort to frequent, to consult, to inquire.
All the way to the bottom.
To seek deity in prayer and worship, to seek with demand, to investigate, to inquire, to ask for.
Keep going down.
To demand, to practice, study, follow, seek with application, to seek with care, to care for, to allow oneself to be inquired of, consulted only of Elohim, to be sought out, to be required of blood.
To be required of blood. All them devils, because Daraj usually means to seek. That's not required of blood. I'm going to require your blood if you don't hearken to this man. So the question is, why would he require your blood? What are you going to point to for that? Why is that the requirement? Because we heard it in Acts 7. You heard it in Acts 3. That they reference this Deuteronomy 18. Just on general principle, read Acts 7 and 33 again.
Then said the Lord to him, put off your shoes from your feet, for the place where you stand is Kadash ground.
Right.
I have seen the affliction of my people, which is in Egypt. I have heard their groaning, and have come down to deliver them. And
right.
I will send you into Egypt. This Moses whom they refused, saying, who made you a ruler and judge?
Who made you a ruler and judge over us?
Did Elohim send to be a ruler and a deliverer by the hand of the Malachim, which appeared to him in the bush?
In the bush?
He brought them out. After that, he had showed wonders and signs in the land of Egypt, and in the Red Sea, and in the wilderness 40 years. This is that Moses.
This is that who?
That Moses, which said unto the children of Yasharal, a prophet shall the Lord your Elohim raise up unto you of your brethren.
Like unto
me, him shall you hear.
Hear. Come on.
This is he that was in the church in the wilderness with the Malachim, which spake to him in Mount Sinai, with our fathers, who received the lively oracles to give unto us, to whom our fathers would not obey.
They wouldn't listen to Moses either.
But thrust him from them, and in their hearts turned back again into Egypt, saying unto Aaron, make us gods to go before us.
That's good, man. Read Acts 3 and 18 again. Now, Stephen let it be known now. Let's see what Peter says.
But those things which Elohim before had showed by the mouth of all his prophets that a Mashiach should suffer, he hath so fulfilled.
Go ahead.
Repent you therefore and be converted.
Well, read 17 so you can hear that part.
And now, brethren, I know that through ignorance you did it, as did also your rulers. But those things which Elohim before had showed by the mouth of all his prophets, that a Mashiach should suffer, he hath so fulfilled.
23. Act 3 and 23.
And it said, and it shall come to pass that every soul which will not hear that prophet.
Or make it 21.
whom he must receive until the time of restitution of all things, which Elohim has spoken by the mouth of all his Kadash prophets since the world began. For Moses truly said unto the fathers,
what he said,
a prophet shall the Lord your Elohim raise up unto you of your brethren like unto me. Him shall you hear in all things, whatsoever he shall say unto you.
And
it shall come to pass that every soul which will not hear that prophet shall be destroyed from among you.
Because Moses sprinkled the blood on them with the covenant that was made. I could understand why you would use that, but in this instance, it's not relating directly to Moses. He said, if you won't hearken to the prophet that is like unto me, your blood got to be spilled. So in this instance, he's not referring to the people who were enjoined to the covenant in Exodus. He's speaking about a group of people coming later to this particular prophet. He said, if you don't hearken to this prophet, your blood will be required. God will require your blood. Blood doesn't, I mean, people died, but blood wasn't necessarily required. It's not even able. It's not even able. Not able. Again, y'all mentioning people that you say you denied the Abba and the Son, which is fair, but it's something more specific in the Gospels per se, and it'll take you back to something that's in the law. But if you don't hearken unto this prophet like unto Moses, he said, man, he will darash of you. I want your blood. Why will he want your blood? For not listening to this man. Because you got to think about the totality of the things that we've looked at as it relates to this matter. You got to put them all together. Don't skip the nuance. You got to put it all together, what you heard in 1 Corinthians 2, what you heard in Acts 3, what you seen in Acts 7, what he talking about in Acts 13, what Paul said he did in 1 Timothy 1, starting at verse 12. What's the totality of them not hearkening, which is what I asked you about Wednesday, when I asked you what sin did they commit? You know what I'm saying? Which was the sin out of ignorance. What was the sin out of ignorance that they committed? Who can recall what that is? Now, I mentioned this particular passage, but what was it? He mentioned Mark 16 and 15. And even that ain't it. But we're going to read it anyway. Mark 16 and 15. And I need y'all to pause and think about the totality of everything. I'm going to mention it again. 1 Corinthians 2, what we read. Acts 3, what did we read? When they said they did something out of ignorance. Acts 13, what did he say they did? And Acts 7, what did they do to Stephen after he ran that down and said, hey, man, he rose up a prophet like unto Moses. And Luke 23, when he say, Abba, forgive them, they know not what they do. Why is he saying that? So what is the sin? Remember, I mentioned that Deuteronomy 18 was the passage, but what was the fruit of the passage, of the conduct? Was it the census without permission? Oh, no. That's what David did. They killed him. And why did they kill him? Because they didn't listen to him. And why they didn't listen to him? Because they rejected him. And here's the key component, because that's why I had to read it. And actually, he said, man, who made you a what? A judge and a ruler over us. Which is the same thing that them people said. So the blood is required, and we're going to get to this here, because what did Yahushua say to Paul? He said, why persecute you thou me, Saul? Because if you did it these to the least of these, my brethren, you did it unto me. You were killing people. He said he was injurious. That's why I mentioned 1 Timothy 1. And a blasphemy, you were killing people. You know what I'm saying? So the requirement of the blood leads into, what did them people say when Pilate wanted to let him go? When he washed his hands, and what did he say? My hands clean of this innocent blood. What did people say? Man, let his blood be on our children's children. Let that blood be on us then. We'll take it. So what does your law say in Genesis 9? Whosoever sheds man's blood, by man must his blood be shed. Because we didn't talk about this. We haven't talked about it recently. When you sin against this man, it's the same as you if you was out there saying, crucify him, crucify him. So when this man who's the judge and ruler over you, when you reject him, it's the same as when he was rejected in the flesh and you hung him up there on that tree, man. That's why I got to have that blood, boy. I got to shed that because you guilty of his body. Remember, what did it tell you? Don't drink that wine and eat that bread. You guilty of his body till he return. It's just the same as if you killed him. Remember, it said if you have to be immersed again, you put this man to an open shame. It's as if you literally went and crucified him yourself. Now, this is something we used to talk about a lot in the 2016 to 2019 range. You know what I'm saying? Indeed. Read them Hebrews 6 and 6, man. You didn't read Mark 16 and 15.
Says, then he said unto them, go you into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature. He that believe in the mercy shall be saved, but he that believe not shall be damned. These signs shall follow them that believe. In my name shall they cast out devils. They shall speak with new tongues.
That's good. Now listen. This is why I be meaning what I want y'all to slow your mind down and mention. That's why I kept reiterating all them verses we read. Now I'm going to slow it down and mention why I mentioned them. Why did we mention 1 Corinthians 2? Because he said, man, if they would have known, they wouldn't have killed the Prince of Esteem. That's what Paul wrote, right? Mm-hmm. When we read Acts 3, what did we read? He say, man, y'all denied the just one and the Kadash and desired a murderer. He said, I hope in ignorance you and your rulers did it. Y'all killed this man. You know what I'm talking about? When you read Acts 7, Stephen is saying, lay not that sin to their charge because they killed the man for testifying of the Son. You know what I'm saying? No, that's not the blasphemy of the Ruach. Not in that instance. What was the other one that I mentioned, right? Acts 13, what did he mention? Ran all that down. And he said, and y'all fulfilled them in the script, not knowing God, nor the voice of the prophets when the scriptures was read. You fulfilled it in condemning him. You killed the man. Remember, I just mentioned in Timothy, I was injurious and I was a blasphemer. You was killing people. When he said, Abba, forgive him, and no, he said, if they done these things in the green tree, baby, what they gonna do in the dry? He's saying this since they got him hung up there on that tree. When he said, Abba, forgive him, what you think he asking them to forgive him for? For killing him. He said, they don't know they killing me according. They don't know they fulfilling Job 28. You know what I'm saying? They don't know they fulfilling what Haman did in Esther. They don't know they fulfilling what Joseph's brothers did to him. They don't know that this is what they doing. Because if they would have known it, what did Paul say? They wouldn't have done it. They didn't know they was fulfilling Psalms 2. They didn't know they was fulfilling Psalm 69. They didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I kept referencing that to, like I mentioned Wednesday, Deuteronomy 18 is the law that they violated through ignorance. But the other laws that y'all mentioned that they violated is the fruit of the Deuteronomy 18 violation because they didn't hearken to them. Let's go ahead and let's sow discord among brethren. Let's have feet swift to run into wicked imaginations. Let's go. All those 7 abominations, those 7 things that the just man fall into and rise again stem from them violating Deuteronomy 18, 15 to 18 or 19. All that stem from that. And you already know if these are 6 things that Yahuwah hate and 7 are abomination, and all of those things require your blood for doing them. Being a false witness, sowing discord, feet swift to running the wicked imaginations, bearing false witness, shedding innocent blood. Well, you got to die for that. Same thing. What did they y'all mention Wednesday, man? Shed innocent blood. The Exodus 23. You know what I'm saying? Arresting a poor man in his cause, running after a false report, all that type of stuff, man. The fruit of it is you didn't hearken to the prophet like unto Moses. That's the fruit of that violation. That's what spawned all that. You know what I'm talking about? And that's the sin that he's asking for them to be forgiven for that they committed out of ignorance. Because they didn't hearken unto me. And because they didn't hearken unto me, they killed me. Because if they would have known, they wouldn't have done it. Oh, praise Elohim indeed. Now the blasphemy of the Ruach is when the individual does a work according to the Ruach and you say it's of the devil. Remember, he said, oh, we'll read it off the paper. Hebrews 6:6.
If they shall fall away, to renew them again unto repentance, seeing they crucified to themselves the Son of Elohim afresh and put him to an open shame.
You put him to an open shame. That means you killed him again. He died under sin once. You killing him again. That means you didn't hearken. It's harsh, but it is what it is. See, it's the same thing with the word, man. Sometimes stuff can be harsh. It's hard, but it's fair. Let me not even say fair. It's equitable. See, unfortunately, we live in a time period. Shoot, I can't even say a time period. Unfortunately, human beings want things to be palatable to their feelings and not the reality of the circumstances and situations that befall them at any given time. So because you want things to be palatable and digestible to your emotional responses to situations, that's why people respond, react, and desire the things that they do. To be 100% honest with you. Mark chapter 3, verse 20. And you know, it just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You know, the reality is the reality.
And the multitude come together again so that they could not so much as eat bread. When his friends heard of it, they went out to lay hold on him, for they said, he is beside himself.
He's beside himself.
The scribes which came down from Jerusalem said, he hath Beelzebub.
He has who?
Beelzebub, prince of the devils.
Prince of the devils.
Cast he out devils.
So now he casting out devils, and these fools say he doing it by the prince of devils. So he doing a work by the spirit and say the devil did it. My God, today. Go ahead.
And he called them unto him and said unto them in parables, how can Hashatan cast out Hashatan?
How can the adversary get rid of an adversary? And that's a fair question to ask them, because you got to be stupid as the day is long, man. Not even say stupid. You know how wicked you got to be? You know how wicked you got to be to say, you casting out devils by the prince of devils. When you sit back there and you let that just sizzle in your spirit, if you would. If you just sit back and let that rest in your mind, you understand? If you let that go ahead and stew a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because some of y'all might like a little beef stew. Some of y'all might like to pull out your crock pot, put it on there on that slow brew. You know what I'm talking about? Let the flavors of the potatoes and the seasoning and all that there get off in that roast. You know what I'm talking about? When you sit there and you ponder upon that, you would have to ask yourself, boy, they really sized that man by saying that. Really? That's extremely, extremely, extremely disrespectful and blasphemous to say such a thing. Because like you said, can an adversary get rid of an adversary? An unclean spirit is adversarial to the individual in it. What profit would an adversary get from removing another adversary? That's the same way people say, he got a devil, but they preach in righteousness, faith, love, and sanctification. You is a weirdo. But nah, I ain't even going to say you. Yeah, you is a weirdo. But you know what I'm saying? Also, you got hate in you. You got hate in you. It's something in you that ain't clean. Because that don't make sense. Individuals who not of God ain't going to say things to turn you to God. But people be letting their personal thoughts, feelings, and because some people don't like people. You know what I'm saying? I wager people don't like me. I don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? You know why? Because I'm not a politician. See, when you're a politician, you want to be liked because you want to be elected. You know how many people didn't like the Lord? You thought he cared? He said, would the equivalent be the same if a person is sent to preach by Yahuwah and someone say they ain't sent, but they really? No, they wouldn't be the same as saying, that wouldn't be the same as blaspheming the spirit unless they were speaking by the spirit, like literally in that moment. And you know, I ain't gonna say that's a difficult thing to ascertain, because like I heard them talking to this lady this morning, and she was like, you can prophesy things that's not written on the paper. And I got another homegirl, she be saying that, where the prophets at now? It's still a word to be prophesied. Baby, man, if anybody gonna prophesy today, it's gonna be in line with what's already on the paper. Y'all feel, see, people won't like there's something new that Yahuwah got to say. He ain't finna say nothing new, nigga. He ain't finna say nothing new. Ain't no ain't, but see, y'all be wanting prophets to prophesy about your personal life. That's how I know you stupid too. You know what I'm saying? I ain't talking about y'all. I'm talking about people. Man, ain't never been no prophet to prophesy to nobody about your personal life. You ain't got no personal prophet prophesying on your life, man. That's church stuff to get you out your money, boy, or get you out your panties. Man, when that man sent a prophet to prophesy to somebody, it's for the overarching purpose of fulfilling his will to a greater task, not by that prophesy over your life, brother. You're going to increase in your finances. You know, man, you don't see them doing that, man. He ain't sending no prophet and nobody to prophesy just about your life and your life only. Absolutely not. That's church stuff, man. Sit back and pause for a minute, right? I'm going to think of some prophets for you, man. Did Samuel go give people a personal prophecy? Did Nathan come to give a... Nathan came to rebuke David. You know what I'm saying? So that's a different situation. But even still, that's for the fulfilling of his will. Because, boy, you got him out of boom. How these people blaspheming my name out here, boy? What you doing? You think Isaiah was coming around here dropping personal prophecies, man? If he come to drop a personal prophecy, it was either to let an individual know there's a work that you're going to do that's going to bring esteem to my name, or I'm going to rebuke you for defiling my name. But everything is going to, if the prophecy don't lead back to bringing esteem to Yahuwah, you would need to sit back and pause and consider. Because listen, there could be a prophet that say a prophecy and it come to pass. Now, that don't mean God sent him to say it. We had to tell my homegirl that the other day, Deuteronomy 13:1, it came to pass, man. That don't mean nothing, boy. Deuteronomy 13:1, man. Listen, man. Because everybody wants some new prophecy. New prophecy about what? What is there new to say? If I'm Yahuwah and I change not. Ain't that what he said? Yahushua HaMashiach the same yesterday, today, and forever. Ain't no prophet coming with nothing different than what's already on the paper. He said, we're not necessarily desperate for prophecy. We need understanding and some knowledge. We definitely need some understanding. Even with Isaiah, with Hezekiah, it was about King Hezekiah's faith while he was sick. Indeed, because that's who I was referencing. Absolutely. Come on with it, man.
Say, if there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer
of dreams,
he give you a sign or a wonder.
He give you a sign or what?
A wonder.
What happened?
A sign or the wonder come to pass.
And it come to pass.
Spake unto you, saying, let us go after other gods which you have not known, and let us serve them. You should not hearken unto the words of that prophet or that dreamer of dreams, for Yahuwah can prove.
And that's why he do what to you?
Prove you.
If you
know whether you love Yahuwah.
And then that's why you got to be careful with the beast and the false prophet, because they gonna bring past, they gonna speak stuff and do stuff. It's gonna come to pass, and then they gonna ask you to worship another god. And then they're going to ask you to worship another god. He said, don't listen to them. I don't care if it came to pass. You better remember what I told you. Now, what I said previously wasn't to castigate anybody, man. It's just an aspect that I know that's church culture, that you have a prophet, quote unquote, prophesying over your life, but you don't read about no prophets. Their job wasn't to be your personal soothsayer. You know what I'm saying? That's a new age tactic, man, for the manipulation of the population. You know what I'm saying? To extract resources from you and to get you out your panties if you a lady. Because then you have to pause and ask yourself, of all the people on the earth, why is Yahuwah sending somebody to prophesy about? Notice that it's always about your personal desires. Always pay attention to that. They're never prophesying something that's going to push forth the dominion of eternity. Never anything that will lead to the edification of the body of a Mashiach. Never anything that points to glorify Yahushua HaMashiach, therefore glorifying his Father. Never anything like that. It's always things tied to your personal desires. That's why I tell you, man, stop, pay attention, man. Just don't bob your head to the beat. Listen to the words that they saying to you. Nigga come prophesy to you about some money. When God ever sent somebody to prophesy to somebody about some money? Say more like the serpent if you ask me. Hey, man, you won't get no dispute from me, my G. Now, again, if some of y'all have more experience with that, you can speak on it. Because I say, like my homegirl said, where the prophet sat the other day? Because somebody said it's prophesied reading off the paper. And he was referencing what Paul was saying in 1 Corinthians 4, 13, man, covet to prophecy. But we know the testimony of Yahushua is the Ruach of prophecy, which is in reality what he was referring to. You know what I'm saying? Which was testified of the Son of God. You know what I'm saying? And then also with prophets, but people are prophesying, they're going to be prophesying as it pertains to things to the Son of God. Because what is there any different that the prophet going to say now? Because I literally heard a lady say, oh, there's other prophecies. Baby, ain't no prophecy going to be different than what's already been said. Because at that point, you feel like this man going to be making up stuff on the fly. And again, that's how you know that a lot of people are not used to dealing with men. What do I mean by that? Again, I am Yahuwah, those sons of Jacob. I change not. You shall not be consumed. Yahushua HaMashiach, the same yesterday, today, and forever. Yahuwah Elohim, he is the rock. I liken a man who hearkened unto my words as a man who built his house upon a rock. That means this man don't change. No matter the situation or circumstances, no matter duress, no matter peace, no matter nothing changes. And individuals are not accustomed to dealing with men who don't change are considered to be boring, and people don't, because it's like this here, right? Because if you hear people say this here, you got to be willing to do this and be adventurous and take risks, man. That nigga ain't on that, bro. You know how many people would look at Yahushua and say he boring because he don't fit into the box of what you want him to do? Because the reality is he ain't impressed by none of this stuff out here. Now, that doesn't mean that it's wrong if you're impressed by it. Because again, I want you to, you know what I'm saying? I don't want you to go to the extreme because he's in an extreme situation. It's the Son of God. I ain't come here to play. I didn't come here to experience life. We'll sit here and back and say, man, you got to live life. Boy, you ain't lived in God. You ain't living life at all. Because you think living life is having all these experiences. What life you live if you die and go to hell when you wake up again? You call that living life, man? You didn't choose life, so therefore you didn't get life, because he the resurrection and the life. So therefore, because you didn't hearken unto him, he gonna require your blood. But you had some experiences, and you could think about him every day, while the worm dies not and the fire shall not be quenched. You know what I'm saying? Because for some people, the life that Anna the prophetess led, you know what I'm saying? 60 some odd years serving Yahuwah day and night. Some people couldn't fathom that, but to her, that was living. It wasn't no life better than that. You know what I'm saying? And the only reason I say that is because we juxtapose the things that these crackers allow you to be able to do in this God-forsaken world is living, and you ain't experienced Yahuwah yet. Have you actually lived, my G? Yeah, man, that's something to consider. Again, that don't mean that you can't go partake in the things that's out here that are not ungodly. So don't be obtuse and anal. You know what I'm talking about? This is for perspective purposes, man. You know what I'm saying? You want to go hang glide then, man. You know what I'm talking about? You want to get out there on the jet skis, go ski and jet. Ain't nothing wrong with it if that's what you want to do. But I'm talking about the aspect of when people make the statement of, oh, you not living. Are you really living? Because you did these things, but you absent of Yahushua. So are you really living? You thought it was living because you had an experience, but you hadn't had an experience. So you ain't even lived yet. Because if you ain't Yada, what experience you done had? You know what I'm saying? And you got some people who'll never have, who don't even have a desire to have any of the experiences that people say you ain't really living, but he done Yada though. He know Yahuwah by experience. He had an experience that any experience you could go take and put all together would not equal a single solid. I'm talking about the most minuscule decimal you could come up with comparable to the experience that he had with the Almighty. So this is just about proper perspective, because sometimes, listen, man, we were talking about that earlier. They were messing with me. I was serious about that though. Like, It was like I told before, like I wouldn't go to no country and be like, I need to try this food, and you think you cultured. Nigga, if I'm hungry, I don't want that food. And they said the same thing, man, you got to be willing to try new things. That's how people ended up smoking crack. And I don't say that to be funny. I say that to be serious. Because somebody told them, just try it. You ain't going to know if you like it till you try it. That's how some people got hooked on crack at 85, 86, 87, 88, 89. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody told them, you ain't going to know if you like it till you try it. Man, you ain't going to get me with that. I don't need to try everything. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to hit me with that and think you're going to gaslight, manipulate, cajole, convince, persuade, any adjective you can come up with to get me to do it. Man, I don't want to do that, cuz. I don't care nothing about that. I told you before, man, nigga think they cultured because you went somewhere and looked at all the landmarks. That's not being cultured, boy. Niggas don't even know what that means. You went to all the tourist spots and ate their food and you think you cultured. Man, being cultured is actually being immersed into the culture of a people. Not visiting somewhere, man. We don't even know what that means. But in reality, you ain't supposed to be immersed in multiple cultures anyway. Not because of the biblical aspect of it, because that's another conversation. But the reality is you would never come in contact with multiple cultures to be influenced by them in the first place. I don't want to be influenced by different people's way of living, man. Because that's what culture is. That's a people way of living. Why would I want to be influenced by that means I'm going to lose fundamentally who I am. I don't want to be influenced by Vietnamese culture. I don't want to be influenced by South American culture. I don't want to be influenced by German, British. I don't want to be influenced by any of them cultures, man. I'll stick to the Kadash way and be influenced by that culture because that's what it means to be cultured, man. And that's how you end up worshiping other people's gods, man. And that's how you end up becoming a male temple prostitute. You know what I'm saying? Participating in sex magic. Offering your children the Molech. That's how it happened to you. Indeed, being well-versed. And I don't want to be well-versed with them people. I want to be able to understand people. I don't care about these people culture. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't give a damn what they doing in France. I don't give a damn what they do. Niggas talking about these culture going to Mexico. You niggas don't want to hang out in Mexico. You know what I'm saying? Nigga go to Colombia, you think you culture, you ain't leaving, you ain't going nowhere. Because if you go anywhere, boy, they finna snatch and grab you, boy. Nigga think it's cool to go to the resorts of some of the poorest, most criminalistic places in the world. To go hang out in the woods. Man, I'm not spending no money to go hang out in the woods, nigga. These niggas selling coke over here. Don't you realize, man, you American, everybody think you rich? Nigga, you poor as hell. Nigga bought these tickets on Klarna, man. You know what I'm talking about? I'm not afraid, man. I know there's people he doing it. I just, you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. You know what I'm saying?
Unfortunately, you ain't telling me why.
No, I'm going to the extreme to an extent at the same token. Ain't nothing wrong with going to the locations though, man, if that's what you want to do. I know I don't want to go nowhere where niggas getting kidnapped at. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, you got to be careful if you go to Puerto Rico because they be snatching niggas. You know what I'm saying? There's a rapper nigga from Orlando got killed in Puerto Rico. We told you about that because he was walking around there with all that jewelry on, man. People pull around there, man. And they be feeling like Americans are ducks. Because everybody in the world think Americans are rich. They don't know niggas is poor over here. They think everybody got money. You know what I'm saying?
Coming off that boat.
Yeah, man, they think everybody got money, man. You know what I'm saying? That'd be the crazy part. All the tourist spots in the world, except for a few, be some of the most poorest, destitute places in the world. Everybody be running to go to Jamaica, man, running to go to Kingston, man. They tell you, you got to stay in this triangle area. You go outside of here, we can't guarantee your safety. I don't want to be there, man. To do what? Nigga, I don't swim. If I seen one beach, I seen them all. You know what I'm saying? But that's just my attitude. I'm different. I seen one beach, I seen them all. I ain't finna get out. Oh, the water's blue. Oh, great. After that, I want to go home. Now, of course, I got a wife and children. They may, you know what I mean, them type of things. You want to be able to facilitate them. But me personally, hell no. Hell no. I don't want to see none of these places. I just want to see Jerusalem, man. Let me see the nice blue rivers over there, man. You know what I'm saying? Where love, peace, and righteousness dwell, man. You know, and I'm not saying that to be hyperbolic. I genuinely, that is my genuine outlook, has been for a very, very long time. I used to think before I got in the word I wanted to see all them play, and I realized, do I want to see them, or do I want to see them because you get influenced, so you feel like you should go to these places? What do I want to see in Paris? What is there to see? I see the Eiffel Tower, then what? I don't eat French food over here. What the hell I'm gonna go over there and eat it for? Just so I can tell a nigga I ate a French pastry in Paris? Get the hell out of here. You know what I'm saying? But then again, I'm the type of nigga, man, I'm not doing nothing different nowhere where I go at. Nigga, if I eat hamburgers over here, I'm gonna eat hamburgers over there. I ain't gonna get over and feel like I need to do this because I'm over here. That's how you end up smoking crack. That's how you end up worshiping another God. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not trying to be hyperbolic. I'm just trying to convey that point. That's how that happens. Because you feel like you need to be or do something different simply because you're in a different locale. That's what they be banking on. You know what I'm saying? Say, imagine seeing a new heaven. I can't imagine. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't even attempt to. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me. Some of y'all into that type of stuff. And I'm like this. You say you the same way. And son, this world is born. Hey, I ain't mad at you. But like, and I say that because I don't knock nobody who wanted like this here. Like, nigga, I don't zip line. I don't see the appeal. You know what I'm saying? But you might see the appeal. So go zip line then. You know what I'm saying? I don't see the appeal to ride on the ATV through mud and all that. I don't see the appeal. You might see the appeal. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, I don't want to parasail. I don't want to do none of that junk. I don't want to ride on no boat just to be riding on no boat. What you ride on this boat for? So somebody can take a picture? Now, see, if you like those things, it's going to see, I don't care about those things, so that's why it doesn't appeal. But if you like those things, you have to understand if it appeals to you and you have the ability to go do it, the nigga go do it. You know what would appeal to me? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I like football. I don't want to watch it in person. Let me tell you that. I don't want to watch it in person. I've done it. Overrated. Overrated. It's hot out here. These crackers drunk. You know what I'm saying? The enjoyability factor is not the same for me than watching it at home. Because I want to enjoy the game. I don't really enjoy the game sitting out here. I can't get comfortable as I would if I was home. I have to pay exorbitant prices to get something to eat or to get a beverage. I got to pay to park. I have to mark out time to fight traffic to get here. I have to mark out time to fight traffic to leave. It's just too much. You know what I have to do? I might doze off and take a nap. It's okay. I missed the second quarter. So what? Me and Fat Boy went to a game. We went to a Chiefs game. That nigga literally fell asleep at the game. That nigga out.
Good.
Yeah, he was asleep, literally asleep. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all be like, you love the ambiance. You love to be around the people cheering, screaming, and hollering. And that's fine. I don't. That's when I realized I like people, but I don't like people at the same time. That I might be a little bit of misanthropic. That I like people, but I don't want to be around you like that. Not 70,000 is what I mean. That's what I mean. And then I also realized I don't like being forced to spend exorbitant amounts of money to do things. I don't want to spend $7 for a water bottle. I don't. Because all I'm going to be thinking about it, I mean, that first time I went to the job, I said, this goddamn minute made $1.25. You charging me $4.50 for that hoe? I said, man, boy, they getting me. And I gotta drink it. Y'all know what I mean, because y'all be going to the movies, sneaking in food you ain't supposed to take. Y'all niggas pulling out whole plates of food in there, man. You ain't just bring no victuals. You brought a whole meal. How you sitting here eating with a lasagna tray? How you got that in your purse?
They don't check.
They don't even check. Come on.
I don't think they care, to be honest.
They don't care.
Just like, We know this stuff expensive.
That's why, shoot, man, I've always told people, we go to the fair, well, you better eat before we get there. Because you lying to me. If you think I'm finna, no. Now I know some people like, you gotta try the turkey leg. Nigga, I don't like turkey legs on damn day.
Fried dough for the kids, man.
And man, bump them kids. Man, you better eat before we get, boy. That junk, man, listen, man, that junk be a lot, boy. Man, you could go to that for them people trying to get you to drop by 300-400. Man, I'm not doing that, bro. Nah, man. Hell nah. You know what I'm saying? Nah, man. Nah. Hell no. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I always did that. Even when I was 21, I was hustling. We were getting good money. I told my homie, yeah, you see, y'all better eat before we get here. Cause boy, I'm not buying nothing. You know what I'm talking about? You can buy it. I ain't doing it. Hell no. Come on, sir.
Somebody had posted Revelation 19.
Yeah, he was quoting when I mentioned the testimony. You can read it though. The testimony of Yahweh Shah, the Ruach of prophecy.
Saying, I fell at his feet to worship him. He said unto me, see you do it not. I am your fellow servant and of your brethren that had the testimony of Yahweh Shah. Worship Elohim, for the testimony of Yahweh Shah, the Ruach of prophecy.
I think a lot of people don't be realizing that. She said, I thought I was going to get a little vacation when I came to Jacksonville. I went to St. Augustine. He was laughing because I came back after 3 hours. she did ride down to St. Augustine. She was probably like, you know what? I'm cool. We don't even go to St. Augustine. I mean, we live here. You know, you might go down there. You feel like, you know, when you get kids, you'll go down there. But as an adult, and it's probably because I don't drink. Yeah, I don't know. And I said there was a lot of stuff because if you don't really like go to bars and clubs and you don't drink, and then I'm not, you know, I'll go get some food, but I ain't no foodie. I ain't gonna be like, I need to try all these restaurants, this, that, and the third. We can go hit some local spots. Ooh, I ain't on that. You know why you used to you go like this? Because you like to eat. Yeah, because you like to eat. Shoot, it is. Because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have looked.
Sorry.
Have you noticed that I ain't did that?
Monte said fat burger.
Well, I always want to try fat burger because I heard about it my entire life. I mean, I definitely watched Snoop Dogg perform a whole music video on the roof of Fat Burger.
That's not known information. You have to know.
You know what I'm saying? And I also like hamburgers. Have you not always heard me say that I enjoy hamburgers? Now, I'll go somewhere. I ain't been to Carolina Jack's yet to try hamburger. They say it's pretty fire. You know what I'm saying? But Fat Burger, they could have kept that burger. That burger was trash. You say it was so overrated, exactly. Crab and liquor, and I don't do it. But yeah, I ain't no. Yeah, I ain't with all that. I don't club. I don't do all that. I don't like being around drunk people, man. You get old after a while. You seen one drunk cracker, you seen them all. Come on, bro.
Go to Deuteronomy 13.
Yeah.
1, 3, and 20.
Oh no, we gotta finish. Man, my ankle look like it's swole, man.
Saying the scribes which came down from Jerusalem said he had Beelzebub, and by the prince of the devils cast he out devils.
Mm-hmm.
He called them unto him and said unto them in parables, how can Hashatan cast out Hashatan?
How can he do it?
And if a kingdom be divided against itself,
It can't stand.
If a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand.
It can't stand.
And if Hashatan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand but have an end.
Good.
Then no man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he will first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house. Truly I say unto you, all sins shall be forgiven unto the sons of men, and blasphemies whatsoever they shall blaspheme. But he that blasphemes against the Ruach HaKodesh hath never forgiveness, but is in danger of eternal damnation.
So blaspheming against the Ruach is saying you're doing a work of God by devils, or speaking evil of a work done by the Spirit. So you saying, you know, blaspheming the power of God, if you would. Because blaspheming against the Son, you can be forgiven. Blaspheming against God, you can be forgiven. But the power of God, which bring life and not death, and you blaspheme against that, well, you're done. You know what I'm talking about? Which in reality, I don't think most people will ever have the opportunity to do that. At least not right now. Maybe during the times of the beast. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think many people have experienced somebody doing a work by the Spirit for them to blaspheme it. In mass. You know what I'm saying? Nevertheless. What we hold is about. I don't think we hold it nothing. So it was mentioned in Deuteronomy 18 of why he will require your blood for not hearkening. So then I asked you another question. How and what would you look at to show forth that Yahushua is a prophet like unto Moses? So then that was you would have to look at. Now we mentioned two things. He said, who made this man a judge and a ruler over us? Actually three, and a deliverer. So when you look at a prophet like unto Moses, you have to look at the fundamental things that he did that Yahushua would emulate. Fundamental principles. I want you to read Hebrews 11 and 23. If you would, sir. And I want y'all to see who can enumerate those things. The fundamental things that Yahushua did to show forth that he is a prophet like unto Moses. Before you read that, read me Deuteronomy 18, right? Read verse 15 one more time.
Yahuwah your Elohim will raise up unto you a prophet.
Stop. Give him raise. Now I know I'm finna be elementary.
Yeah, raise up is,
but bear with me.
It's kum.
That's kum. That's to raise up, to establish. He's gonna establish a who?
A prophet.
Give him nabi by definition.
That's a spokesman, a speaker, a prophet.
A spokesman or a speaker. So he's going to establish a spokesman or a speaker, like unto Moses. So now you have to establish that spokesman, that speaker. So there's a flood of that. So that means you have to ponder upon everything that you've seen in Exodus and everything that leads up to Deuteronomy 18. You understand? Go ahead.
Say, from the midst of you, of your brethren, like unto me.
Give him the midst and give him the like.
In the midst is correct. Midst among the inner part, the middle.
From among you. So this ain't gonna be no stranger. Like.
That's not there. I think it's part of the phrase with brethren.
So give him brethren.
And that's brother, same parents, half brother, relative, kinship.
Same relative father. Or kinship. Why is this important?
You got of resemblance. You got figuratively of resemblance.
Then you got of a resemblance. So he's going to resemble Moses, which is why they probably put the like in there. He's going to resemble Moses. So what does that mean? He said, I'll raise up and I will establish a spokesperson from among you who will resemble your brethren and also resemble Moses. Go ahead.
So to him you shall hearken.
And him you gonna listen to.
According to all that you desire of Yahuwah your Elohim and Horeb.
Stop. Now he said of all that you desire, that you took pleasure in Horeb. And that's, remember, that's in the Exodus when they say, hey man, don't you talk to him, Moses, we don't want to talk to him. Go ahead.
Saying the day of the assembly, saying, let me not hear again the voice of Yahuwah my Elohim, neither let me see this great fire any more, that I die not.
Mm-hmm.
Yahuwah said unto me, they have well spoken that which they have spoken. I'll raise him up a prophet from among their brethren, like unto you, and will put my words in his mouth.
In his mouth.
He shall speak unto them all that I shall command.
Remember, we established that Wednesday. The Ruach that is upon you, and the covenant that I made with you, and the words that I put in your mouth, will not depart out of the mouth of your seed from henceforth and forever. I know my Father's given me a commandment on what I should say and what I should speak. Go ahead.
And it it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto my
I'm
word,
going to kill him.
but ye shall speak in my name, I will require it of him.
I'm going to kill him. So now, this is what we have to establish. When we establish this here, then y'all willing on the morrow, we can ride into what it is? The city of refuge. What are some of the things that you would establish when you be a prophet like unto Moses?
Doing the signs in front of the people be one.
I give you that because we read that also. You know what I'm saying? So we mentioned 3, right? Already, right? Judge, ruler, deliverer. Obviously a prophet because he said he'd be a prophet like unto Moses. So he's that spokesperson. Moses brought us out of Egypt. That would be the deliverer. Moses made intercession for us. And then you have the interceding. You also have that he was a lawgiver. He also sat on the throne as King Per, like what you can read in Deuteronomy 33. You know what I'm saying? What else we got? Yeah, that's the main function. Read them Hebrews, Epistle of Hebrews 3:1 though.
Wherefore, Kadash brethren, partakers of the heavenly calling, consider the apostle and high priest of our profession, Hamashiach Yahushua, who was faithful to him that appointed him, as also Moses and all his house. For this man was counted worthy of more esteem than Moses, inasmuch as he who had built the house had more esteem than the house. For every house is built by some man, but he that built all things is Elohim. And Moses truly was faithful in all his house as a servant for a testimony of those things which were to be spoken after. So
notice that he over the house, so that he can be. Yeah, I actually read Hebrews. Let me get to that second. He's over the house. So again, that goes back to being the ruler, the judge, the lawgiver, the king. You know what I'm saying? And then we'll look at all those things and how he resembled Moses. Meekest man on the earth. Chosen of Elohim, the signs, the wonders. Because some people hit on that. They don't really go into it. It's in depth on how he was a prophet. Like, how did he resemble Moses? Darius mentioned John 8:36. I'll save time to get in that on tomorrow. But read Hebrews 11:23. We start right there. I ain't going to push it. Remember, y'all willing, man, we got a baptism tomorrow, so be advised.
By faith, Moses, when he was born, was hid 3 months of his parents because they saw he was a proper child, and they were not afraid of the king's commandment. By faith, Moses, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter, choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of Elohim than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season, esteeming the reproach of Hamashiach greater riches than the treasures in Egypt, for he had respect unto the recompense of the reward. By faith he forsook Egypt, not fearing the wrath of the king, for he endured as seeing him who was invisible. Through faith he kept the Passover and the sprinkling of blood, as he that destroyed the firstborn should touch them. By faith they passed through the Red Sea.
Good. Oh, go ahead.
That's by dry land, which the Egyptians are saying to do were drowned.
So that's good. So I just want to mention taking us to the land. Also, we kind of live in the Exodus 32. Moses went up and we started living reckless. Both had left out Egypt, even though Mary and Joseph had left because of Herod. They returned to the land afterwards. Yeah, and that's in the more detail. But when we look at, because the people wouldn't be able to know that play. So when we're looking at him being a prophet like unto Moses, you're looking at him actually functioning in the role that Moses functioned in. You know what I'm saying? So that's where the intercession come in at. The judge, the ruler, the deliverer, the lawgiver, the king. We'll look at all those things and juxtapose them. As a matter of fact, what it is, John 1. Look at this right here. This is what they asked John the Baptist, right? John 1 and 19.
And this is the record of John when the Yahweh sent priests and Levites from Jerusalem to ask him, "Who are you?" And he confessed and denied not, but confessed, "I am not the Hamashiach." They asked him, "What then? Are you Elijah?" And he said, "I am not. Are you that prophet?" And he answered, "No."
Stop. You notice how he said, "Are you that what?"
That prophet.
When they asked him, "Are you that prophet?" he referring to Deuteronomy 18. You know what I'm saying? Because they knew that that's what they were supposed to be looking for. It's another passage where they asked him that. I think it's John 7. Let me look and see. I can't recall it right now. For some reason. Oh, there it is. John 7 and 37. Praise the Lord. That's exactly what it was.
In the last day, that great day of the feast, Yahushua said in Christ, saying, "If any man thirst, let him come unto me and drink. He that believe on me, as the scriptures have said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. But this spake he of the Ruach, which they that believe on him should receive. The Ruach HaKadosh was not yet given, because the Yahushua was not yet esteemed." Many of the people, therefore, when they heard this saying, said, "Of a truth, this is the prophet."
This is the who?
This is the prophet.
This is the who?
The prophet.
They mentioned in Deuteronomy 18. See, now we'll come back and look at that because they saying, "Hey, man, we have to look at the thing based off of," they're making an assertion. This man is the prophet. You know what I'm saying? They're referring to Deuteronomy 18 specifically. Go ahead.
Say, others said, "This is the Mashiach," but some said, "Shall the Mashiach come out of Galilee?"
Have not the scripture
said that a Mashiach come of the seed of David and out of the town of Bethlehem where David was? So there was a division among the people because of him.
Because some of them thought he was the prophet like under Moses. They need to listen. The others said no. But we'll start right here for now, man. Hallelujah for Yahushua and the word. I appreciate your time this evening. Bless y'all the house of Elohim in the name of Yahushua, man. Y'all willing, man. We'll be back at it on tomorrow. Doors open at 11:30. We won't go as long because we got a baptism tomorrow, man. Peace, Brother Omar. Then you know y'all willing, man. Amen. Shalom, Sister Regina. Amen, Margaret, man. Love you too, man. Then you know Sunday, man, we'll have the kickball game, man, 1 o'clock, man. I'll probably go live from out there for a little bit if I can get me another phone tomorrow. Ah, shoot. Good. Praise you, Lord. Yeah, if I get me another phone tomorrow, I'll do that. But so yeah, man. You know, just weigh and consider. You know what I'm talking about? But I just really want you to put into the whole, you know, just get a good understanding of the whole play. How I go, how I don't go. You get me? And then we rock it out like that. So that's all I got for right now. You don't got too much to add, man. Just oh man, I didn't hit verses 3 and 7. My bad.
For Leviticus?
Yeah. Let me do that right now. I'll make it brief and tell you what I wanted you to be able to catch, and then y'all willing. I'll go into greater detail on it on tomorrow. Read Leviticus 4 and 3.
Say, if the priest that is anointed do sin according to the sin of the people.
So check it. Yahushua was a priest that was anointed. You can read that in Matthew 26. You can read that if you want to ascertain that with the Ruach HaKadosh. He sinned as the sin of the people because he became sin who knew no sin. Same as with Adam. Go ahead.
And let him bring for his sin which he hath sinned, a young bullock without blemish unto Yahuwah for a sin offering.
And he was that sin offering himself. Of course, you can read that because, you know, when you get the juxtaposition with the Day of Atonement. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. Verse 7.
It's saying the priest shall put some of the blood upon the horns of the altar of sweet incense before Yahuwah, which is in the tabernacle of the congregation, and shall pour all the blood of the bullock at the bottom of the altar of the burnt offering.
See that pouring all that blood out? And when you seen him get hit in his side and all that blood came out, to be the reference of that sin offering for the sins committed for ignorance. You know what I'm saying? Now, we'll hit all that in the greater detail. I mean, and that's just really for you to see the precepts for, because it's pretty much self-explanatory once it gets mentioned. But we'll lay the precepts out just to make it plain. You know what I'm saying? On the floor. But again, hey, y'all, I appreciate y'all. Bless y'all. House of Elohim, name of y'all. I love y'all, man. Y'all willing, man. On tomorrow, make it do what it do.